Hey there, everybody. This is Randy Dalton coming to you from R&B Properties. Hope you're staying safe, staying healthy out there. Wanted to talk this week. We're going to change it up a little bit, but I wanted to talk this week about one of the questions that you should be asking every applicant. You've got a vacant unit, you're looking to rent it out, you've got people coming and looking at it, you've got some people applying, some people not. You've got a few people that are applying. Now, what do you do? What is going to increase your odds of being able to select the right tenant for your unit? So that's what I want to talk about today. Now, I did do this a couple of months ago. I did kind of the top 5 things to look at, but we like to keep our videos in the 10-minute range, so it didn't give us a lot of time. So today, we're going to take one at a time over the next 5 weeks. We're going to dive in a little bit deeper, and we're going to talk about each and every one of the top 5 questions that you should be asking a tenant applicant. So if you're self-managing, if you're maybe got a vacant unit right now, you're going through the process, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'd love to see you here back every week. But if you subscribe to our channel, you're going to be able to get information right off the bat when the next video is up, so you can come back and see it. Right now, we're going to be talking about the number 1 question that you should be asking a tenant applicant. This is number 1 out of 5. This is a series of 5 top questions. So what's the top question? What do you think it is? For those of you who saw my video a few months ago talking about all the different things that you need to look at, you probably know the answer. But for those of you who haven't seen that, think about it for a minute. What do you think's the most important question? What's going to help you narrow the field? Think about it. Think about it like a hopper, right? You're starting off with maybe 20 applicants, right? What's the most important question that you could ask that maybe knocks that down from 20 applicants to 10 applicants, right? You want to start reducing the numbers so that you're not spending a lot of time trying to chase and find information on each and every applicant that you've got. So what do you think that number 1 question is? Take a minute, think about it, write it down on a piece of paper. There's no right, there's no wrong. It may be different because of your experiences. It may be different because you're in a different area of the country or the world. It might be different just because of the level of knowledge that you're at right now. And there's nothing against that whatsoever. We all start as infants crawling around on the dirt floor, right? So no worries, no shame in that whatsoever. Think about it and write down your answer. Hopefully you've had a chance. You've got that written down. So now I'm going to tell you what our experience is, what our experience has told us. Number 1 question that we ask every tenant applicant: what is your gross household income? That's right. We are number 1 wanting to look at affordability. There's another industry very similar to ours, run by banks. They're very good at what they do. They're very good at determining who can qualify for a mortgage, who can't. I'm not a mortgage agent, mortgage broker. There's tons of you out there that probably know more than I do. I know at a time they were looking at a magnitude of 5, a factor of 5. I think today it's like 4 to 4.5. I could be wrong. Don't shoot me if I am. But banks look at it. What's your gross household income? Gross household income is 100,000. Okay. Let's say the factor is 4, right? So that means you can qualify for a mortgage up to $400,000. Right now, you can go start looking and seeing what can you get with a mortgage of $400,000. 20% down, you're going to be able to buy a house for 5. Maybe you want to buy something a little bit more expensive than that. You got to come up with a bigger down payment, right? It's easy for the banks to be able to pre-qualify people. It's easy for the people to understand that this is what I got to do, right? This is what I have to be able to achieve. No different in the rental market. No different in the rental market. The first thing the banks do, I know they are concerned about your credit score, but it is not the first thing that they look at. First thing they look at, gross household income. Why should we be doing anything different? So for us, That is the number one question that we ask. What is your gross household income? We look at that and we look at rent. Now we look at rent and utilities. We add those two together. That's the expense side of it. And then we look at it against the gross income side of it. So remember that. If rent's $1,000 and utilities a couple of $100, your expense side of it is $1,200. If they make $2,400 a month, their rent to income ratio is 50%. It's a simple number, simple math, helps you be able to separate the chaff from the wheat. Is that the saying? So now, what are the ratio? That's the ratio. What are the numbers that we're looking at? So I'm going to start off. I'm going to talk about two specific numbers. Number one, 50%. 50% is our cutoff. If you are higher than 50%, it's a no. It's a no, automatic, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We move on, okay? And suggest that you do as well. So rent to income ratio must be under 50%. Okay, so that's number one. That's our number one cutoff point. Number two cutoff point, 40%. If you're less than 40%, it's a yes. It's an automatic yes. Now, does that mean here's the lease, sign, and we're done? Absolutely not. This is just the first question that we want to ask in order to be able to again, think about that hopper. You got 20 applicants. You want to get it down to 10 applicants. The first question is, what is your gross household income? Look at that rent to income ratio. Under 40%, it's a yes. Move on to the next question. Over 50%, it's a no. You can basically just not spend any more time on that applicant. What do you do when it's in that 40 to 50% range? So it's a tough call, right? It's a judgment call. It really is. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. So one example, 43%, right? It's a little bit higher than what we want it to be, but it's an individual, no kids, no spouse. He's all by himself. His other expenses are quite minimal, right? Maybe he doesn't have a car. Maybe he buses to work, right? Maybe he's renting the place because he can walk to work. I've got a tenant that basically walks and bikes to work. So it's definitely possible. It's definitely feasible. So in a situation like that, 43% rent to income ratio, right? It's over that 40% mark. But would you consider him? Probably yes, right? It's a yeah, let's move them on to the next stage, right? It's not necessarily a yes, here's the lease, so let's sign, but it's a yes, let's move them on to the next stage, move them on to the next question. Now let me give you another example. Again, this is judgment call, right? Taking a little bit of extremes here. I actually had this one just a couple of months ago, 48%. Right, 48%. So let's look a little bit deeper at what's going on with that individual. 48%. Wife's not working. Wife's a stay-at-home mom. Now, don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But in this particular situation, it's one more mouth to feed. It's one more person to clothe with that 48% rent to income ratio. Look a little bit deeper. Guess what? 2 kids. 2 teenage kids, 2 teenage boys. Imagine what they're going to eat, right? And clothing for that. Basically, it comes down to one individual's making all of the money, 48% rent to income ratio, and huge other expenses that have to be factored into that, right? So this rent to income ratio allows you to do a quick analysis and cut off probably 50% or more of the applicants that you're receiving. In that particular case, with the 48% and the family of 4 with 1 income earner, it was a no. So that is our top question, our number one question. If you're interested in learning more, if you're interested in finding out what's question number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, subscribe to our channel. Looking for more subscribers every day. We'd appreciate it if you subscribe to our channel. You will receive notification when the next video is up. So you'll be able to watch and see what is the next question that you should be asking. What is question number 2? That is it for today. Hope you are all staying safe. Hope you are all staying healthy. Look forward to seeing you again sometime soon.